Rick Astley, welcome to the Peace Hall.
Thank you. My absolute pleasure to be here. It's amazing.
What a venue.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when it kind of came up on the list, I knew about it, but I hadn't played here. Obviously, I've not even been here before. So yeah, I'm kind of really excited. And the thing is, the weather. I don't care what anybody says. People put up with it in the rain, but if you get blue skies, then it sort of changes it. Yeah.
And your show is all about the good times, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I mean, listen, we've played in the rain many times, so we just have to, But yeah, it makes a difference. There's no doubt about it. Outdoor gigs this summer has been awful. Let's just be honest. So yeah.
Could you ever have imagined that Never Gonna Give You Up was gonna live the life that it has?
No. I think if anybody said they thought that was coming, they would be Nostradamus or crazy, one or the other. No, that's like bottling lightning, as the saying goes. You can't really imagine that. It's just, I think the beauty of it is that it came from the internet, a lot of it. Yeah. And I think therefore it's a totally different generation that sort of spoon-fed that to the rest of the world a little bit and reminded everybody about it. So that's why it's kind of amazing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not even like people my generation going to their kids, you should listen to this, it's great. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what the kids want. They find music, not just mine, all kinds of music.
Yeah.
And they share that moment that parents, uncles, aunties, whoever did, And yeah, it's amazing. But you could never dream it, I don't think.
1987.
Indeed.
Was when it came out and went massive then. Were you able to enjoy it at that time?
I enjoyed lots of it, yeah, but it's a whirlwind, and you've probably heard that from people before. It's kind of, you do enjoy it, of course you do, but you sort of, I've always said that it felt like it was happening to this guy who was like a yard in front of me, and I was kind of following around all the time, trying to get in his skin kind of thing almost. It felt weird, partly because you go to places in the world that, again, you've never really thought you would ever end up in, like Japan or South America or, something like that. And your record's already been a hit. And people know who you are. Yeah. And that's kind of weird. That's a weird thing to go to a country the first time in your life and have people looking at you. It's kind of a bit weird.
Did you feel like you were part of a machine with Stock Aitken and Waterman?
No, I felt it was more like a family, to be honest. I mean, it got called a machine later on. And obviously they kind of use that hit factory term as well and all the rest of it, but I think the truth of it is I met them in the very, very early days of their success. They hadn't even had Spin Me Round out yet, you know what I mean? So I think it was just around that time, it was just coming. So what they turned into was something very different than what I could have ever possibly imagined. I thought they were like three chances, to be honest, just trying it on. No, not quite. But I thought, these guys are at the beginning of something. It's either going to work and, going to benefit me, or I'll get to live in London for a few weeks and have a bit of a grin and that'll be it. So I don't really see it as a machine, really. I think they just became really successful. And I think a lot of producers who do that, the industry then calls for them to just make another record like that. You've got a different label turning up saying, can we have one of those, please? But we'd like it a bit more blue, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what they did. And they were capable of doing other things, definitely. But I think once they found their zone, they just went for it.
Why did you stop doing it all?
I just had enough of it, really. I think I couldn't really see how I was ever going to have a really big hit record again. Because of the demands that takes from you personally, but also the fact that you need an amazing song and it needs to be produced in such a way that hits and bangs right there at that moment. And again, it's a bit like lightning in a bottle. It's really, really hard to capture. And I kind of felt that I'd become a dad at that point. I love telling people this because it's just me trying to be honest. I'd made some money. I've made some money to be able to say, you know what, I don't have to do it. I'm not chasing the security of anything. I'm not chasing fame. I've had fame. It's like whatever. And I know people might find that a bit whatever, but I still feel that about fame, to be honest. Fame, it isn't, well, I'll quote Notting Hill, it isn't real. I'm just a boy standing in front of her. No, it isn't. It isn't. And it's like, of course it is on a day-to-day basis if somebody recognises you, but as soon as that moment's gone, it doesn't mean anything. I don't get in and out of the shower differently because I'm famous. Do you know what I mean? I don't do the normal things in life any different. And I think it doesn't really, I don't know, I've never really loved it, I don't think. It just doesn't work for me, I don't think.
Why did you start again then?
I think it was, I got an offer to go and sing my old songs in Japan. And around the same time, an amazing promoter here in this country, a guy called Simon Moran, he won't thank me for that. I had a chance meeting with him. He said, look, why don't you sing? And I said, well, you know, those days are gone kind of thing. Anyway, he convinced me to just go out and do a little tour. I didn't even sing my songs really. I sang a lot of swing songs because it's what my dad used to sing around the house, you know. And I loved them. And I just really, really enjoyed it. And I just thought, and then I had this offer at the same time to go to Japan. So we went as a family and we had a family holiday. And it was almost like, well, I'm going to do karaoke for a couple of nights and that'll pay for our holiday and da-da-da. And we met some friends over there and everything. And I think from the moment I kind of started singing the songs, something clicked inside me that said, you can still go out and do this, but it doesn't have to be every minute of your life. It doesn't have to control your life and be everything. Because if you're not trying to have big hit #1 records around the world, it's very, very different. You're just going out singing basically your catalogue. And then I've been doing that for quite some time. And I just felt the urge, partly because of opening for Peter Kay, which is, I don't know, 10 or 12 or more years ago, I can't remember. A friend and I wrote a song because he said to me, he's a songwriter, producer. He said, look, you're going to be on stage in front of 10, 15, 20,000 people a night, whatever. Why don't you just sing a new song and see what happens? So we did, and I just kind of fell in love with the process again. So I thought, right, I'm going to make a record then. So.
And you're 9 albums in now?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. But yeah, I think it's really hard. Hello, birds. I think it's hard to, I don't even look at it like that because I had such a long time away from it. It's almost like, obviously it is the same thing and it's one career kind of thing, but it also feels, the records that I've made in the last few years, I've kind of made on my own in my garage, and I've just made them because I wanted to do it. I have got a record deal, but I mean, I didn't want to make the first one. I just literally made it in my garage, took it to my old record label, and they went, "We love this, let's put it out." So it wasn't a career move. It was like I was just doing it for the fun of it, you know.
Why did you choose to name the most recent album what you named it?
Yeah, one of the reasons, we were in America. I was opening. Well, say opening. It's a weird show. It's an amazing show. They're doing it again right now. New Kids on the Block. So it was New Kids on the Block, Salt and Pepper, and En Vogue, and I got invited as well. So the four of us went around America, 56 arenas. It was mad, and we were just on a bus for 22,000 miles. And we kept going up to our driver, Nat, and saying, "Nat, are we there yet? Are we there yet?" And it was kind of like a kid in the back of a car on the way somewhere. And it also made me also feel, how long do I want to do it? How lucky have I been? Also a tiny bit of like, don't push your luck, and kind of like, just take stock of it all, I think. So yeah, it felt like a comfortable thing to call it. Are we there yet? I mean, I'm 58. At what point do you say, that's me? Like that's it, you know? And,
are you there yet?
I don't know. Well, I hope not, because I'm going on stage in 45 minutes. I don't know. I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. But I also feel, I sometimes do look at certain artists, not all, because there's some of the greats are doing it and doing a really good job of it. But there's sometimes you look at people and you sort of think, ooh, maybe you should do a bit more gardening. And I just don't want people ever to say that about, well, probably people say that already, but I don't want to feel walking off the stage, I should have stayed at home. I want to feel I've walked off the stage going, I nailed that, you know? So, yeah.
Rick,
Cheers.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Pleasure.